So the first summer shirt on today's list is not the one I'm wearing. No, the first shirt I want to talk about is one that's actually much more widespread than the Hawaiian shirt and has a storied history of being worn by men around the world for over 100 years. Now its exact origins are unknown, but it's believed it was first designed over in the Philippines. It then eventually made its way over to Mexico via the Manila-Acapulco galleon trade. The shirt would go on to become popular throughout Cuba and the rest of the Caribbean, and eventually make its way throughout Central America, Colombia, and most other countries in South America. And it didn't stop there. The shirt eventually made its way over to Spain and Portugal. The summer shirt, gents, I'm talking about is none other than the Guayabera. Now, a classic Guayabera is a men's summer shirt that is worn untucked. It's defined by two columns of closely sewn pleats running the front length and back of the shirt. Typically made of linen or cotton, it can either be long or short sleeve, and it's traditionally made with 2 to 4 patch pockets on the front. Now, the only problem with this design, at least for probably most of you guys watching, is that the style of this shirt with all those pockets is very different from what you're used to wearing. And to be honest, that's the reason why 99% of men don't have this shirt in their wardrobe. The solution? Pick up a Guayabera inspired shirt. So the one I'm wearing right here, as you can tell, doesn't have the patch pockets. It's short sleeve, made of cotton, and instead of the pleats, the designer here just went with 2 columns that open up the shirt and allow more venting. So is this then still a Guayabera? Well, by a strict definition, probably no. But that's not the point, gents. What is? I want to give you practical tips to improve your style and look good and bring in some interesting summer shirts that level up your style. And with that being said, let's jump over to the next shirt on this list, the retro knit button down. Now there's a few key features on this shirt that make it unique. So first up, the material is a knit. Now the most common place we see this weave used is with sweaters, but it can also be used effectively in summer wear because basically all they're doing is taking a yarn and interlooping it. What this does is it gives the fabric properties that are different from woven fabrics, in particular a bit of a stretch, and if using the right type of yarn, it makes the fabric more breathable, which are both great characteristics in hot weather, right? Now the next key characteristic is the use of a camp collar. This is a collar that isn't made separately from the shirt itself. They're pretty much always open, flat layering, and you know them because there is no way to button up the top. There's no button or no buttonhole. And finally, let's talk about the sleeves and the shirt hem. Basically, we're going to have an elastic ribbed weave that allows the garment to better hug the body and give an overall trimmer fit. Now, if you know your style history, shirts like this first started to appear in the 1930s and 40s and became incredibly popular in the 1950s. Stylish men in hot areas like Italy, Cuba, Miami love these shirts, and to this day, the style is still associated with them. Now, gents, all the shirts I'm wearing in today's video can be found over at today's sponsor, Kufandi. For years, you guys have been asking me, where can I find stylish, good-looking shirts that are affordable? So if that's what you're looking for, Kufandi is where you're going to find it. Seriously, gents, when you go over and look at their products, what you're going to see is a wide variety of classically styled shirts and other garments that you can affordably add to your wardrobe so that you can level up your style. In my experience, all their clothing is true to size, good quality at a very affordable price. All the shirts that I'm wearing in today's video, I'm going to link to down in the description below. And when you use that link, gentlemen, you are for sure going to get the best deal out there on the web. And seriously, go check them out. Look at all the options. I know a lot of you guys want to bring something fun into your wardrobe, but you don't want to break the bank. Well, guys, Kufandi makes it easy to step up your style in an affordable way. And again, gents, when you use that link, you're going to get the best deal on the web. So take advantage of this deal with Kufandi. Step it up your wardrobe and style at an affordable price. Now, this next shirt is one you definitely know about, the short sleeve button down. But unfortunately, the style a lot of guys own is actually an abomination. Yeah, I'm talking about the short sleeve dress shirt. A favorite of NASA scientists and engineers. You see these guys in movies wearing this even with a necktie? No, please, that's not what I'm talking about. No, the shirt I'm talking about is casual by nature. It doesn't try to be a shirt that you would ever button up all the way or wear in a formal setting. Therefore, it can embrace a variety of colors, textures, and materials. Linens, cottons, performance blends. They come in a variety of colors, of unique weaves, which give them sometimes rough or textured looks. Now, by and far, these shirts are made to be worn untucked. And if they do have a pocket, it's not really meant to be used. It's there for design purposes. But if you want a sleeker version of the shirt, look for one that doesn't have the pocket on the front. In this case, right here in the placket, we hide the contrasting buttons. And the sleeves on this one even have a bit of extra detail with a classic fold over that gives it more definition. Now, a quick pro tip here. If you're a relatively thin guy like me, you are going to want to get the shirt trimmed up. You're going to want to get it darted. You are probably even going to want to have the sleeves slimmed up a bit. You can take all this to a seamstress. They may do it for 20 to 30 bucks. Or if you got a sewing machine, you can do it yourself off in about 20 minutes. In any case, remember, fit is king. And another option is look for a shirt that brings in contrasting fabrics. As you can see with this casual button down right here, both the collar and placket have a contrasting fabric that draws an extra bit of attention to the face and to the chest, which I think adds a bit of style to the overall look and serves you well because it draws attention to the face. And now let's talk about the Aloha, aka the Hawaiian shirt. Now the distinctive feature of a Hawaiian shirt is the printed fabric. Now traditional men's Aloha shirts are adorned with traditional Hawaiian quilt designs, tapa designs, and simple floral patterns in more muted colors. However, modern contemporary designs can feature a wider range of different patterns to include palm trees, surfboards, drinks, or other tropical elements, and we see the color combinations on these contemporary shirts as higher contrast. You're going to have brighter colors, you're going to have a wider range of colors. Now, depending on who you talk to, the shirts have a Japanese Hawaiian heritage that goes back to the 1920s, 1930s, and they were initially sold to tourists who latched onto them and loved them, brought them back from their vacations, and by the 1930s, they picked up the name as Aloha shirts. Sales exploded after World War II. Servicemen brought them back from the Pacific, and the shirt was cemented as an American icon when Elvis Presley donned one on the album cover for Blue Hawaii. Now, as you can imagine, with all this print, with all this color, with all this design, these shirts are always going to be casual. That being said, they're a classic garment, and there's even a form of dress code called Aloha attire that encourages guys to wear these type of shirts to events like beach weddings, birthday parties, and tropical themed dinners. And so for those reasons, the history, I absolutely love this shirt, and I encourage every man to look to pick one up to add to his summer wardrobe. Now, the next garment on this list is our second piece of knitwear, but this one is a little bit more formal than the other, and only because the styles I'm talking about here are usually going to be solid in color and cleaner and simpler in overall design. Of course, the garment I'm talking about here is the classic polo. Now, the polo shirt, as the name implies, comes off the polo field. They were made popular, though, in the 1920s and 30s through the sport of tennis. And although they were always considered casual clothing, in the 1920s and 30s, you could wear this garment with a sports jacket, which just goes to show how times change, because now a polo with a sports jacket, perhaps paired with tropical weight wool trousers, yeah, by today's standards, that's going to be a pretty dressed up look. And that's why I've got this shirt on your summer list, because when you want to look good, but it is sweltering hot outside, keep it clean, especially if you've got to throw on a jacket. And if you have to do that, go for a jacket that's unlined, relatively lightweight. But with that combination, you can wear a polo underneath, look good, and that's why this shirt style is on our list of the best summer shirts that every man needs to know about. And last but not least, we've got the classic t-shirt. Now, if you don't know the history of the t-shirt, you don't know how to wear a t-shirt, guys, I got you covered with this video right here. In this video, I break up not only the history of the t-shirt, where it comes from, but how to wear one, how to look good. So go check it out. Boom, right here. Oh yeah. T-shirts, yeah.